demographic segmentation. In the previous session, we discussed upon family size, the life cycle stage. Now we, I think, stopped at by discussing the gender part, isn't it? We'll be discussing about the companies who are placing the product or offering the product based upon the gender differentiation. The next very important part is the income. That is, now here the company thinks of targeting the customers or segmenting on the basis of various income groups. Now here, when we say it's based upon the income groups, it straightway defines the pricing bracket. So here, when the company thinks of offering the goods to more than one segment or just one single product to cater to the demand of the single class of society, then we say it's the based upon the income group. Here, when we speak about quality, when we speak about the pricing, it defines the it itself takes into account the price of the product. Now here, when we say there are the offerings or the products are placed on the basis of income, it means that we are defining, the marketers are defining the brackets here. That is the higher income group, middle income group, or maybe the price range of income of the people. That is what it means. Now, there are many products. If you consider automobiles, we have the lower segment range, we have the mid segment range, and the higher segment range. What do you mean by this higher segment, mid segment? It reflects the pricing with reference to that particular offering. There are some products wherein we can just take the name of the product and it defines the pricing bracket. Now, many of the companies, they bank upon this pricing attribute by using some taglines that they don't say it's cheaper. Actually, you can say it's average quality products for the average people, that is the average class. Now here you can take an example of the retailers, like we have the Big Bazaar, which banks upon this सबसे सस्ता या सबसे सस्ते दिन में you will get the offerings. This is the promotion which they promote on the basis of this income. Now, similarly, when the companies think about promoting the offerings, that is products or services based upon the promotional part, that is discounts. Many of the companies, they waive off the charges. If you take the tours and travels packages and all, you will see that 20% off, 30% off. That is what they use to promote the offerings. Or maybe you will get some discounts in the pricing. So here they are trying to shift the segment, maybe from the higher class to the mid segment. If you think of electronic goods, okay, those which are priced into the higher brackets, here the companies think of promoting or pushing them by waiving off some amount and trying to push the product into the market. Here, maybe if you purchase a ticket, air travel, or even the railways, okay, you have the economic class, you have the higher class. So based upon the convenience offered to the customer, these price brackets are defined by the manufacturer or the service provider. So here the customer understands the attribute or the value which is attached to that price. When the purchaser is purchasing that particular product or services, the customer comes to know what all would be offered to the customer here. Especially in case of hotels, if you see, they have this approach of segmentation. Now coming to the occupation, whether the segmentation is done with reference to occupation, yes, it is. Now when we say occupation, it is the demand of that particular profession. So here if you take into consideration a person who is at a managerial level, a person who would like to attend meetings, who attends a meeting very frequently, who travels abroad, maybe he will purchase all the formals for him instead of casuals. The demand would be more for him to wear formals, maybe a three-piece suit while attending the conference or meetings, or maybe with reference to traveling. He has to travel abroad or he has to travel from one place to other place. So here the demand for travel from his side is more. So the companies think of offering some benefit to this loyal customers, those who frequently purchase these services. So one can think of having the segmentation based upon the occupation also. It's the need, the particular profession where the person needs to have those offerings or the products to be purchased. It is mandatory. Similarly, education, based upon the education also the companies think of moving ahead with the segmentation. We are marketers, those who market the offering with reference to all the stationaries, or you can say the applications with reference to education. All these are based upon segmentation with reference to this attribute or this base of education. Based upon the religion is one of the very important variable here. Now, especially when the companies market during the festivals, we come across this type of approach, this type of marketing based upon the segmenting. So religion also is one of the base generations. Many of them, they are turning to the generations aspect also. If we consider the pushing up of operations like offerings like movies, music, the television channels, or the magazines, the print media, they are based upon the generations where a particular generation is targeted or defined by the manufacturer or the service provider. Even the insurance companies, they think of segmenting, having a segmenting approach based upon this part. I think we had discussed this, the lifestyle also in the previous session. Lifestyle, personality, and values also we had discussed, it seems. Yeah, move ahead with the behavioral segmentation. Now, occasions also, I think we discussed. We discussed the example of air travel or emergency goods. We discussed the example of orange juice here, how the companies try to increase the consumption based upon the occasions. Now, coming to the benefits part, benefits are classified according to what is sought from the offering. One can think of having the economy as a benefit, that is the monetary, on the basis of monetary basis, one can seek the value from the offerings. Second thing is the medicinal benefit, which the customer seeks when he purchases the product. Third is the cosmetic benefit, and fourth is the taste or the preference of the customer. Now here, each of this benefit seeking group, they have their own demographic behavior. Now here, when we think of the first approach of economy, just now we discussed about the economy, how marketers are define the market based upon the pricing. The companies directly go for seasonal discounts or reducing the price on particular occasions or during celebrations, festivals, they try to promote it. Based upon the pricing of the product, the value is derived or attached to that offering, even the customers are aware about it. Now, coming to the medicinal benefit, it is where the companies think of focusing on the medicinal value or medicinal benefit sought by the customers, and I try to emphasize on this part. Now you will find that many of the companies, they will bank upon this. If you consider the example of consumables like oils, edible oils, the toothpaste, like edible oils like Safola, who banks upon this medicinal benefit. Low cholesterol, okay, they bank upon this tagline. Similarly, if we think of toothpastes, okay, where they convey the decay prevention factor, that is the medicinal benefit. If you take into consideration all the products which are based on the Indian traditional Ayurvedic concept, they all seek this type of benefit. Maybe you take from the point of view of aloe vera included in the shampoo, or maybe the oil, hair oil, or the comfort with reference to automobile, where convenience setting facilities been made available by the manufacturer for the comfort given to the customers. So here, all this is with reference to medicinal benefit. Now coming to the cosmetic benefit. What is the cosmetic benefit? Now here, if we take an example of the toothpaste, okay, decay prevention is from medicinal point of view, and bright teeth, shining teeth, we had the ad of close-up, okay, where the shining teeth was emphasized, that is cosmetic benefit. Or all of the cosmetic industry also focus on the cosmetic benefit. That is, maybe you can say style, fashion, look, something new, innovative in the offering. That is focused by this cosmetic uh, benefit seeking. So here the customers are attracted based upon the theme of cosmetic benefit. Now coming to the next part is taste. Taste or the preference, you can say, of the customers. Now here, if you see all of the ready to eat instant foods, they are very well marketed, and they are also accepted by the customers because of this one attribute of taste. Now, yeah, in the previous session, I gave you an example of the Lays, okay, which they had the classic salt as the basic parent product, but they introduced the other flavors like onion flavor or tomato flavor. What it is, that is enhancing the taste, just satisfying the customers by offering them the product in a different variant. Similarly, if you take into consideration the toothpaste also, you will see that there are different variants, like Colgate Active Salt is there, yeah, or there is mint involved in it. So when the company thinks of having the components or different ingredients to satisfy the taste seekers, then we say the segmentation is based upon the taste or the preference of the customer. So this base for the segmentation is taken into account. Now this was regarding the benefit seeking. Moving ahead is the user status. Now user status is what is the usage or the status of the users here. Now here one can think of having the non-users also and the users also. Now when I say you can group them into users and non-users, the company start with this. There are customers who are the current users of the offering, and there are the non-users also. The company or the organizations always think of expanding the market share, and hence they want more customers in their bundle, in their baskets. So the companies are emphasizing through advertising, through promotion, to convert the non-users into users groups. Now here, how the company thinks of shifting these non-users to users. When Dove was introduced in the market, okay, a small sachet was introduced through the newspapers. If you might have come across this. Now hereby a small volume is introduced, small packets. The sachets are introduced in the rural markets as well as in the urban markets. So here initially the objective is that at least uh, for the first time the consumer should use that product. If the customer is satisfied, then the customer would go for the more volume or repeat purchase. Many a times the companies give the discounts or promote it by offerings like if you take one you will get one free, or a small bottle of newly introduced product is offered or attached to the parent product from some other different product line. Now why the companies think of having a very small volume of product being promoted with the regular product, just to convert the non-users into users. They like it or not is the further thing, but at least the product should reach to the customers. Now there are also X users. What is the X users? The customers who have been using the offering and they have shifted to some other product competitor brand. So here the companies think of the reasoning why the customers switched to the other product. And when uh, the X users group is more, then the companies have to give a serious thought about it. If the customer has used the product, okay, purchase the product, there were 1 or 2 repeat purchases, but then again the customer shifted to competitor product, and if these users are more, then it's a threat for the company. The company has to think about one or the other different strategy. Now there are also the potential users. Potential users are those would be, or when emphasized, will purchase the offering or the product. So the companies usually think of converting the potential users to the users group. Maybe in future these customers will purchase the products. Then there are the first time users, those who use the product for the first time. Now we say that first impression is the last impression. So that's why the customers should be able to capture the customers. They should be able to satisfy the customers for the first time. When the customer uses the product, the company should see to it that they are satisfied, so that they get converted to loyal customers or regular customers. Now today, more than gaining a new customer, the challenge for the companies is to retain the customers. As when new competitors enter, they come with new bundle of offerings. So to tap the existing customers is a challenge for the marketers today. There are also the regular users. Regular users, they are the loyal customers, those who purchase the product or the offerings on a regular basis. Now, these customers are very important for the company. The relation with these customers have to be maintained. Many a times you might have observed that the companies promote the membership cards or the store value cards. Now, this is because they want to retain the customers. They want to give benefit to the loyal customers. There are certain points whenever you purchase on your name. There are certain points which are collected and it is transformed in the monetary way, or maybe you can just purchase the goods of that much amount. So the companies use this strategy to retain the customers and give such customers some benefit for being loyal customers. Now here there is always a strategy of the companies to grab the market share of the competitors. When there is cutthroat competition, the companies have to be on toes to come up with the strategies to retain the customer as well as to attract the competitors' customers also. Now the next point is the usage rate. Now here marketers, they can segment this part on the basis of light users, medium users, and heavy product users. Light users, customers, those who do not use or use the products very occasionally, light users. Medium users, It is in between the heavy and the light. And heavy users are often a small percentage of the market, but they account for the high percentage of total consumption of the volume. So, from the marketer's point of view, the high users, they are more important. And marketers usually they try to emphasize on heavy users as compared to the light users. Now, here emphasizing on the usage rate, you take an example of the shampoo bottles which we use, isn't it? It's a consumable product. Have you noticed what is written on the label? Hello? Hello? Students, whether you are here? Yes, so I have asked you one question whether you have anybody who has just seen the label, what is written? Or maybe if you take any cosmetic packs, you will see that the emphasis is on the usage rate. So maybe they write that for better results, okay, use twice or thrice fortnightly. Now, why these instructions are given? One thing is really that it is worth using it to get the better results actually, or second thing is from the marketing perspective. So this is what they are emphasizing on, more usage or usage rate. Now similarly, if you think of any of the um, snacks type, okay, even they emphasize on their basic motive is that enhancing the taste buds, okay, or maybe attracting the customers. Like we have the tagline of Lay's, I think, that एक बार खाते खाओगे तो खाते रह जाओगे. What is that? That is, it emphasizes on the more usage rate. So here, the companies think of through one or the other means focusing on improving the usage rate or converting the uh, usage rate from light to heavy category. So this is the shift which the marketers are uh, thinking of through the promotional means. Also they try to focus on this message. Now the next is the loyalty status. Now consumers, as we individual, we have our opinions, our taste preferences. Similarly, they customers are loyal to specific brands, specific stores, and other entities. They do not like to shift. A very simple example you can take of a dairy products. There are many of the milk manufacturers, isn't it? The local brands, the national brand like Amul. Okay. But you might have observed, see, many a times when you enter any grocery store, you want milk. Okay, we just say a packet of milk. But many a times you see the people specify the brand also. I need a 1 liter milk of Chitoe brand. Okay. Or that brand is attached. Now, what does this signify? This is the loyalty status of the customer. लेस का पैकेट देना. So here we don't want anything else. See, it is somewhere in the minds of the customer. The brand is attached. Now here, if you say when we go for the antiseptics or maybe floor cleaners, disinfectants, okay, instead of saying anything, we just say ask for the brand. Dettol dena, ek bottle Dettol ka dena. Okay, what does this signify? This signifies the loyalty status of the customers who are loyal to specific brands. Okay, so for the companies, having such hardcore core loyal customers is an asset. Those customers who go for repeat purchases of a single brand, they are known as hardcore loyals. And it's a challenge for the marketers to attract these customers, or more than attraction, retain these customers. In the today's competitive era, if you take into consideration the tours and travels or the transportation, then for the companies, it becomes much challenging to retain the customers. Now there are also split loyals. Who are the split loyals? The customers, those who shift from one or two brands. You will see that most of them, they do this, that today if I am purchasing or buying one offering or product, okay, I just stick to it for few days, then I move to the competitor product. I move for the sake of, now why a customer thinks of shifting to competitor product? What might be the reason? Though I am satisfied with the current offering, but still I shift. Maybe I want to try out with something else. I am bored with the same thing. I just need some change. And that's why I go for some other brand. I use that. Then again, this is possible for consumables. Okay. Once I finish with that, I again shift to the initial brand only, because somewhere uh, I have liked that product and I want to be with that offering only. But just for the sake of change of preference or change of taste, you can say, we just think of toggling in between one or two offerings. So this is split loyals. Now here the companies have the limitation as far as the split loyals is considered. They do toggle the customers. They also know the pattern of the customers. They toggle between one or two brands. Now shifting loyals, those who shift from one brand to the other. And there are the switchers also. Switchers, they show no loyalty to the brand. Now here, when in the market, there are more of the suppliers, those who offer the products. Then we have the switchers in the market. Suppose if in the market there are 10 to 12 or 15 to 20 different manufacturers offering the same category of product, then we have the switchers. Otherwise, usually we have the split loyals. Now here, for the marketers, for the FMCG category, one can think of having shifting, okay. Now, what about the durable goods? In case of durable goods, this loyalty status is very important because those customers, those who have purchased the product, okay, they are satisfied. They spread the word of through their word of mouth publicity. They are the promoters. They are the influencers for the others. Now, in case of gadgets like smartphone, laptops, okay, these are the higher end products as compared to consumables. That is, customers purchase them for one time. No doubt they may change for after 4 years, 5 years, okay, 3 to 5 years or 10 years. It depends upon the uh, customer, what exactly the customer perceives. When you purchase any electronic gadget, furniture, smartphone, laptop, okay, uh, people generally do not go at the first instance. Buying a soap and buying a electronic gadget or a smartphone, there is a lot of difference. Okay, if the cost of even soap is 50 rupees or 60 rupees, a person will not think much. But one is purchasing a good or a product of higher range. In that case, a person thinks, he seeks opinion from the others, those who are using that offering, those who have purchased that product, and then only thinks of buying. It does happen with us, isn't it? That when we want to buy a smartphone, we just ask friend, "Are you have that phone? What is the report of it? Whether it's good, whether you are satisfied? What are the features?" Similarly, when you want to purchase an automobile, maybe a car or a two-wheeler, you would like to know what are the positive benefits or attributes or features, and then only you decide of purchasing them. So here, loyalty status of the existing customer, those who have purchased the product, they are the promoters of the offering, as they are associated with the other people, and hence satisfaction of the existing customers is very important because it defines the loyalty status ahead. Now, coming to the buyer readiness stage. A market consists of people in different stages of readiness to buy a offering. Now, here some are totally unaware of the product. Many of them, they don't know the product. They don't know how to move about it, how to go about it. Now, if you see, having a app, digital app for the jewelry business, for the gold business is something innovative idea. The people, they are not aware of it. So here, the company has to emphasize more or create awareness about this feature being made available to the customers, or why the companies emphasize through advertising on a particular attribute is because communicating with the customer, communicating with the masses about the particular feature which is available with reference to that product. Now, if you take Safola, if the company does not communicate about its health benefit, how the people are going to know? If it is just mentioned on the label and the company does not promote through advertising, whether the people will come to know about it? No, they will not understand. So here, one category is the people are not aware about the product. The next category is some of them, they are aware. Now, all of them, they always don't go to the market to purchase any goods. I want to purchase any electronic good. I want to purchase a smartphone. That's why I enter a shop and I have a look at the options available. That's why I come to know. Otherwise, I'm not aware. That's why we say some of them, they are aware. Some of them, they are just informed. Now here, you see today many of the companies, they go for the mass customization. Maybe through our mobile phones we get the messages, through emails are dropped to the customers. that this is the new scheme which we are launching, this is the new product which we are launching. Now, why the company thinks of having these mails or maybe messages? Because just to make aware the customers. We don't know who would be the potential customer for this newly launched product or newly launched schemes. And that's why they just want to make the customers aware about this new offering, about the new product. So that's why the companies think of just informing the customers. Some are interested. Now, out of this informed customers, there may be a group who would be interested to buy the product, who would be coming ahead in future. So they are transformed as a potential customers. They may be transformed as potential seekers of the offering or the product and would come ahead. Now, who would come ahead? Some of them, those who are desired. Informed are many, interested are again few, and less are the those who have the desire to buy the product. Many of them may be informed. Some of them they be interested, but they may have the monetary criteria. Some of them they may not have the budget right now. Maybe in future they can think of. Well, desire the product, many of them they may intend to buy also. Those who want to purchase the product, those who think of purchasing the product, they may come ahead and intend to buy. This relative number makes a lot of difference for the companies because market share depends upon this basic thing, and hence the companies try to connect with the customers. Now, moving ahead is the attitude, which is very important. Now, as far as this attitude is considered, 5 attitude groups can be found in the market. Some people they are very enthusiastic. Some of them they have the positive approach. There is a group those who are indifferent to any of the promotional ideas, while there are negative, the other are hostile. Now here you would see there is a group which is very much enthusiastic. Now these are the pioneers and are very important for marketers. Whenever a new product is launched in the market, these customers, those who are enthusiastic, they would always come ahead and would like to try the offering. Now these enthusiastic people, if they are satisfied, they can be the opinion seekers, or you can say the means to promote the offering. Next are the positive ones, those who are satisfied, those people, those who are very much positive. They have the positive approach towards the offering. They get converted into the loyalty status is considered. They become the loyal customers. That is one thing. Second thing is that they influence the other customers also by spreading the word of mouth publicity that the product is very good. Go ahead with it. The company should think of having more of this positive customers. Now there is also a group those who are indifferent. That is, you promote the product, you give many discounts, but still this group is indifferent. It is not affected. It is not influenced. They are not the opinion seekers. This is a very small group of segment. Okay, they have their own individual principles or base defined. They may have their own inhibitions, perceptions. Now here you take an example of the masses. Okay, there are few people Those who like to buy or purchase the offerings which have the tag of made in India. They have that principles. Have you ever come across such type of personality? Hello. Many of them, when they visit the malls, or many of them, those who visit the shop, they just have a look at the manufacturer. Okay. If it is make in India, then only they will purchase. They will ask specifically for the salesperson also, or the retailer also, that if it is not mentioned, they will ask where it is manufactured. If it is made in India, they will purchase. Otherwise, they will not purchase. Here they have the Swadesi attitude more. The second criteria, now suppose we have the Chinese products in the market also. So many people, they don't appreciate, or maybe they don't promote the Chinese product. So they look into that tagline of whether it is made in China. So we don't want. There is other group which they are just the benefit seekers. They have no relation with who is manufacturer or whatever. They don't think about this aspect. While there are also critics who, irrespective of who is the manufacturer, what is the pricing, they just go for the benefit or quality of the product. No matter whether it's a Chinese product, it's a German make, or anything. The quality of the product should be good, whatever is the price. So this is one group. The manufacturers or the company will not have any hold on the customers. It is the customer who has his own approach, who has its own attitude. They have their own values, principles attached, and depending upon their mindset, they purchase the offering. So it becomes difficult to change the attitude. Though many of the marketers, they are becoming successful in changing the attitude of the people. Otherwise, MNCs would not have been successful in the Indian market. In the previous session, we had seen the example of conflicts, okay, where the market is growing, which they have been able to change the attitude and perception of the people with reference to the traditional means of breakfast, banking upon the health as the mantra. Similarly, there are customers who have a totally negative approach also, or hostile approach also. They are indifferent. Now, these attitudes are also attached to the demographic factors many a times. Now, even the food and beverages industry, they are also being successful in changing the attitude of the people. If you take the cold drinks market, okay, if you take the fruit juices manufacturers, they are able to shift the attitude of the people towards this approach. Now, here again, the mantra is the health aspect is emphasized or focused. If you take the example of the healthy meals, on the basis of this also, the manufacturers are becoming successful in changing the dietary pattern or habits of the Indian customers. Now, any doubts here? Whether you have understood the basics or the concepts here?
Yes, ma'am.
Anybody wants to share any examples? As far buyer readiness stage is considered, the loyalty status is considered, usage rate is considered. Can you think of any examples which fit into any of these criteria? I gave you some of the examples of the companies, of the brands. Can you think of some examples which refer to the occasions or benefits? Anybody?
Hello,
Yes.
ma'am. For benefits, we can take the example of masala oats also.
Yes.
So they are just marketing the oats that if you eat this, like you can reduce your weight also, or you can live a healthy life.
Yes.
So they are just telling consumers like this product is beneficial for you by your
Okay.
health. So we
Okay.
can take this example.
Yes. Very
And,
true. Oats is one
and,
of the examples.
and ma'am, you use the word demographic.
Yeah.
Like, what does that mean exactly?
Demographic with reference to which point I mentioned. Do you recall? Attitude.
Yes, ma'am.
Changing the attitude of the person. See, what are the demographic factors now here? Let me go to this previous slide so that it becomes clearer. All these are the demographic factors, no? Now, whether
Hmm.
age has anything to do with the attitude, whether there is any correlation,
Yes, ma'am.
there may be or there might not be. Okay, I'm not saying so there will be, but whether age and attitude.
Hmm.
Can you think of any example where age and attitude go hand in hand? Not necessary, I'm telling you that it should, but when you think of it, we had taken an example of a Cadbury's where Amitabh Bachchan was a celebrity. Okay, so we usually have for confectionaries and chocolates, we have kids. Very true. Am I right? But here Cadbury's thought of having Amitabh Bachchan. Why? What was the reason?
Maybe they wants to show people like age doesn't matter to eat
It doesn't matter. So we
sweets.
say that usually maybe the we can say 60 plus people or 55 plus people, they say that chocolates are for kids. They are not meant for old age people, isn't it? So whether this is an attitude that chocolates are just for kids and we should not eat chocolates at that age, that might be the attitude, isn't it, of the people. And this is one of the demographic factors. Even there was one more ad of Cadbury's. Can you recall that, which again emphasized the same message?
Ma'am, gems also.
Yeah, gems also. Now the new ad which they have come up with. In Cadbury's, the one more ad was there where there is an old lady, okay, and there is only one bite remaining. All the family members are there. So what is that then? Why is she there showing that type of ad? There is some message to be conveyed. So this is with reference to age. What about the family size and attitude? Any relation to this? Or family cycle, any of these attributes, not necessarily it should be only, okay, but usually they are connected, majority of the masses.
Like, ma'am, in Coca-Cola, they had been providing the family pack for
Yeah.
the
Yes.
drinks. So we
Yes,
can relate this example.
you can relate this, but what about the attitude now here? Usually, do we have for parties traditionally, we Indian families, do we have Coca-Cola? So this is about, we are, see,
No.
whatever you said is very appropriate, but we are speaking from the attitude point of view. We are attaching attitude to these demographic factors, isn't it? So here, isn't it shifting of attitude? If we say religion, okay, uh, during I had given you this example that during the festivals, maybe Raksha Bandhan or maybe Diwali's, kuch meetha ho jaye. We usually have sweets in Diwali. Okay, Raksha Bandhan festivals we celebrate with sweets. We have our traditional sweets. Okay, but here the company it's trying to shift the attitude by saying that even Cadbury's is a mithai. It can whether it can take place of a mithai actually. Do you feel that? It cannot replace no our traditional sweets,
Hmm.
but maybe the company is emphasizing on the modern concept of gifting as far as the Raksha Bandhan pack is considered. See, a basic thing is that uh, everybody likes chocolates, isn't it? And when it is packaged in a very good way, a gift pack is there. Everybody likes to have gifts. So whenever you will have a big pack of Cadbury set gift wrapped, there is a smile on the face. That is what is emphasized by the manufacturers. And then they think of changing the approach. Now, if you take simple income group, usually we perceive that malls, shopping malls, or supermarkets, the prices are high, isn't it? What about Big Bazaar? Why it should have that tagline? सबसे सस्ता है उनका tagline during the
Yes.
promotional offerings. So it is emphasizing on income, no? Here. Or the class. So here, whether you have understood
Yes, ma'am.
what exactly is the meaning of the attitude with reference to demographic features or change of generations also you can say.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So today we will stop here. We will continue with the next part. Thank you, students.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.
Okay.
Thank you, ma'am.